Hey guys, welcome to The Strong Young Man. Today I want to cover a fantastic mindset that will help you to live a more fulfilling and happier life. The concept is minimalism, and its most basic definition is that you limit your life to the things that bring the most happiness to you and eliminate the things that you don't need or bring a neutral effect to your life. Minimalism is not about living in the jungle without clean water, electricity, internet, or a flushing toilet. It's about living a lifestyle of only taking what you need to get by. There is no need to be extreme in this approach. Even a small adjustment will see you rewarded with all kinds of benefits. Cleaning out your life will cleanse the soul. Minimalism helps you remove things that are not important in your life so that you can have space to enjoy what really matters. By removing activities that don't add value to your life, you will see massive benefits to your physical and mental efficiency, a concept I explored in depth in episode 79. Today I will go over several practices of minimalism that I have found most useful, and I'll leave it up to you personally to decide how far you want to take it. Additionally, you can apply this concept to many areas of your life, or you can concentrate it to one area specifically. It's all a personal choice. Just understand that adopting any degree of this mindset will enrich your life more than having excess of the things that you desire. Practice number 1. Remove excess physical clutter. The first one is obvious. Get rid of everything that you don't use. Everything that you have should be used regularly. It doesn't mean removing everything. It just means that if you haven't used something in a long time, say 12 months, then get rid of it. Get rid of things until you've filtered them down to the minimum for the life you want to lead. Examples of this are throwing out items that you haven't used in years, even if you'll use them again. Personally, I've found that the emotional cleansing I feel by having fewer items in storage outweighs the costs incurred should I need to purchase these items again. Remove clothes that you haven't worn in 12 months. If you haven't worn an item of clothing throughout 4 seasons, then it's time to throw it out. Throw out the 20 old pairs of socks and underpants that you have and replace them with 4 to 5 really good pairs. Don't keep old papers lying around. This will create unnecessary stress for you. Sort through these papers so you can file them or throw them out. Store things out of sight. Remove excess cables using cable management systems. Remove excess physical clutter so that most of the floors and tables in your house are clean. Clutter is a form of visual distraction. Whether you realise it or not, having things everywhere will make you feel more stressed and less organised. For most people, storing things they don't use is a heavier mental and emotional expense than the financial expense of rebuying, borrowing, or renting in the future. Review the kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, study, and living rooms regularly to see if there's any excess physical clutter that needs clearing. Don't forget about the backyard shed if you have one. Practice number 2. Buy fewer things that clutter. Don't buy things you don't need. Be content with what you have and don't make the mistake of believing that happiness will be found through the acquisition of assets. Understand that buying things will release dopamine. Are you buying something to get your next hit, or do you really need something? If something truly means something to you, you will find that it brings you happiness ongoing every time you use it, which should be regularly. Practice number 3. Remove excess mental clutter. Mental clutter refers to the excess thoughts about relationships, things, activities, events, etc. Reserve your thoughts to the things that really matter and eliminate thoughts about things that don't matter. A lot of other minimalist techniques feed into this, because by eliminating things that don't matter, we eliminate the mental energy associated with it. For example, the mental toll associated with buying an unnecessary item includes the time spent researching, buying, tidying, storing, cleaning, servicing, and repairing that item. Another application of minimalism to reducing mental clutter is to limit your computational power to the things that really matter. Don't waste time using your mind for things that overwhelm you that don't align with your values. Limit the use of your mental energy to things that really do matter for you. This includes limiting the fucks that you give about people who annoy you. You only have a certain amount of energy. Don't give it to people who don't mean anything. This also includes listening to the news. Not many people realise that the news is a source of a lot of our unhappiness. I covered this thoroughly in the last episode. Given the news rarely relates to you, I suggest cutting it out altogether. It's just another form of mental clutter that doesn't contribute positively to you at all. Advertisements are another form of this. In addition to cluttering your mind with things that don't bring you happiness, they will also tempt you to buy things of this nature. You need to limit your exposure to advertisements. It's impossible to eliminate them completely because they're everywhere, but cutting down on TV and radio will be a big start. Practice number 4. Remove meaningless relationships. Don't get bothered by losing relationships with friends and family. Don't worry about having only a few relationships. This doesn't mean you're a loner. It means you value yourself and your time, enough to only give it to a few people, but in abundance. You only need a few high-quality relationships to make you happy. Excess relationships will bring you emotional clutter, which has the most impact on your happiness and well-being. Emotional clutter is very hard to spot because it's intangible. We can only properly invest in a few relationships, and rather than spreading your net far and wide, it's better to concentrate on the relationships that bring you the most joy. This will further enrich the relationships that you do choose to invest in. Remember that on your deathbed, you can really only have several people fit around the bed. Who would they be for you? Limit your life to those people and invest in them maximally. It's not about who wants you in their life, it's about who you want in yours. Be very selective. Filter and remove the toxic relationships first, followed by the unfulfilling, and then finally limit them to a few good people that bring you the most happiness. It's important not to go too far in this. Don't eliminate all but one relationship. You want to have several strong relationships so that if one is taken away for whatever reason, it doesn't leave you bereft and emotionally crippled. Understand that I'm not saying that you should cut yourself off from your network. Networking is vital to success. When real shit goes down, a network of people will help you solve your problems more effectively. Just limit your friends and your network to the people that enrich your life. Practice number 5, remove needless activities. How you live your life is entirely your choice and hence you're entirely responsible for it. Identify your values and give priority to the things that support them. Some of the activities that are commonly prioritised when they shouldn't be include listening to music, listening to the radio, and watching TV or Netflix. Most of the time, people move towards these activities when they have nothing obvious to do. Sometimes just sitting and thinking about life and your problems is a much better use of your time. You may very well come up with a solution to your problem on a silent drive to work. Practice number 6, technological minimalism. Your excessive use of technology will drastically inhibit your ability to be productive. Unfortunately, eliminating technology is not possible if you want to keep up with the fast-paced modern world, unless you want to live in an isolated community in the jungle. Instead, I recommend you focus your use of technology to a small number of devices that strongly support the things that you value. If a device doesn't support your value or it offers only a minor benefit, it is not worth it. Also, be wary of low-value technological activities that clutter up your time and attention. Ignore the fear that you are missing out on something small by unsubscribing from social media. What you should really fear is missing out on the things that you know will enrich your life. In essence, you should limit the use of technology to the aspects that enrich your life the most and concentrate your time on those devices. Technology has a massive impact on your productivity. It can add to your productivity or it can absolutely destroy your productivity, depending on how you use it. Strive to limit technology to the ways that it adds value to your life and remove the ways that technology is consuming your life. Some examples of how you can apply technological minimalism to your life include removing any unnecessary devices. Smartwatches and iPads are completely useless. There is nothing that you can do on a watch or an iPad that you can't do faster on a phone or a computer, respectively. Cull the distant friends you have on social media that make you unhappy when you see their updates. This is emotional clutter for you, and they aren't even your close friends. For your real friends, you'll be happy when they succeed. You'll find out about their updates in person rather than on social media because you're close with them. Their success is your success because you share a life with them. The same goes for influencers that you follow. I suggest limiting your time on social media altogether. It's not a healthy practice. People often post their life through a lens which shows the idealized forms of their experiences. They throw a filter on reality by conveniently leaving out the messes and struggles that plague their life. Eliminating social media will also limit your exposure to the advertisements that target your recent Google searches and even the things you thought about but didn't even Google. Delete unused applications off your phone. 20% of the applications on your phone are used 80% of the time, and the other 80% of applications are only used 20% of the time. Delete the applications that aren't used regularly to feel cleansed. You'll also be able to find the applications easier because there are fewer applications on your home screen. If you want the maximum effect of this, delete all social media apps off your phone. Facebook, Instagram, and other applications can all be used on a computer. Taking away the accessibility on your phone will reduce your time on social media. Minimize digital distractions by removing notifications. My home and work computers all have notifications turned off. The same goes for my phone too. My phone lives on vibrate. 16 out of 19 applications on my phone all have notifications silenced, limited to red bubbles. I even have unknown numbers calling me automatically silenced. Only phone calls from people I know, YouTube, and the Messages applications have notifications appearing in the notification center. I frequently deploy the use of focus mode when I just don't want to be disturbed. Distractions can cost you severely, with some evidence suggesting that it can take you up to 20 minutes to return to the level of productivity you were at prior to the distraction. I can't emphasize how powerful I feel by not succumbing to the distractive nature of notifications. Don't be afraid to leave the house without your phone. Go on long walks without your phone with nothing but your thoughts. This will allow you to solve complex life problems. Minimize emails by unsubscribing from subscriptions. Once upon a time, I received about 100 emails a week from random companies that I never wanted to subscribe to. One day in 2015, I made a conscious decision to unsubscribe from spam email the next time each company sent me one. There is a little unsubscribe option at the footer of every email. If you spend 10 seconds clicking it, you'll never receive an email from them again. This is the best kind of junk to remove from your life. Additionally, you should also opt out of spam text messages when you receive them. Finally, don't allow junk mail to infiltrate your life. Throw it out the moment you get it out of the mailbox. Practice number 7, reduce unnecessary expenses. Minimalism is not about living frugally. Having said this, saving money is likely a consequence of your minimalist lifestyle if you spend excessively on things that don't matter to you. Applying minimalism to your expenses means that you spend money on the things that matter most to you. Your expenses should align with your values. Using me as an example, fashion is not a very high value of mine. Therefore, I'm very frugal when it comes to buying clothes. I buy from Kmart mostly. On the other hand, health and nutrition is my most important value. Therefore, I spend approximately $1,200 a month on the best quality groceries, including grass-fed meats, raw honeycomb, and organic fruits. This may seem excessive to most, but bear in mind, I never eat out. I have zero fast food, and I haven't had a drop of alcohol since 2018. I choose to sacrifice spending big on the things that don't align with my values so I can invest more money in the things that do align with my values. This concept is known as satisficing, or being satisfied sufficiently with your decisions. Your values don't have to be the same as mine, but if you want to maximize your happiness, your spending should align with your values. These are just some of the suggestions on how you can start immediately improving your life. The great thing about minimalism is that it's a choice. You choose how far you want to take it. There are no right or wrong ways to go about it. Minimalism is about consuming what's important to you. Rather than using consumption to make lives that look good, we should limit our consumption to building lives that feel good. Minimalism somewhat frees you from the fear of losing everything because you have less to lose. The happiest people are those who make the best of everything, not the ones that have the best of everything. If we can't be happy with what we have now, then how can we expect to be happy with more? When people lose most of their belongings in a fire or a natural disaster, they are surprised to report that they feel an overwhelming sense of peace. While they don't have much, they have everything they need. This is as long as everyone makes it out alive. It is in these moments that people realise what is really important to their happiness. Try to put yourself in this position, as it will help you to work out what's really important to you. I suggest you start small with your minimalist changes. In the first few months, focus on eliminating the small things, the things that bring you the most unhappiness. Don't try and change too much too fast, and don't become overly concerned with the details. If you focus too much on the details or the big changes ahead, the vision you have may overwhelm you and you'll lose motivation to continue. You may even give up altogether. Generally, when people first adopt small minimalist tendencies at the start of their journey, the experience grows on them and the benefits get larger and they find they want more. Use this positive feedback loop to your advantage. Start small, and if you enjoy it, let it take you to the level you want. Thanks for watching today's episode. In episode 92, I'll be talking about pride. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when it drops. Catch you then.